Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Here's what strong wind can do for visibility, even when there's little or no snow falling. That's 52nd Avenue South in Fargo a few hours ago. Whiteout conditions at times as the snow on the ground is whipped around.
If that's how challenging driving conditions have been on the edge of the city, imagine how difficult, if not impossible, it's been in the rural parts of the valley. Let's begin with the latest on whether this snowstorm is ready to move out of here. Hutch has the answer.
Well, it is starting to exit, but we're taking a live look right now at our Dakota Magic Casino camera. Interstate 29 in spots completely covered with snow, and the drifting continues. And I'm going to take a look at the flags there, so we'll turn the camera. You can actually see the clouds racing in those gusty northwest winds, snow continuing to blow across the valley. Here is a look at a photo that was recently uploaded here. Whoo, Findlay, or East Grand Forks, some drifts way up high there thanks to the 6 to 7 inches of snow in your area. Here's the 24-hour loop of this storm system, and it is finally starting to exit for our area. It's going to continue to cause difficulty travel-wise in eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota, as we have numerous closed roads that are completely covered with drifts that are feet in height. Here's a look at the South Dakota Victor area. Here is Cavalier. Can't see the road there either. And one more look at Highway 13, Verona. South central North Dakota, the hardest hit with upwards of 16 inches of snow. Wind continues to gust now to 45 miles per hour in Fargo, but it will eventually subside. The blizzard warning continues until 7 o'clock tonight, you guys. After that, we should see the gustiest of the wind exit and conditions slowly begin to improve.
A little bit longer, and then we can rest a little easier.
Yes.
Thanks, Hutch.
Strong winds are being blamed for tearing a roof open in West Fargo, but the situation could have been a lot worse as several people were inside the business when the roof started coming apart.
Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero joins us live from West Fargo with more on this. Joshua, how dangerous is that building?
Andrea and Mike, I wanted to tell you that West Fargo fire officials say the building behind me is unstable. If you took a look at the part of the roof, it's still flapping. This is the R.J. Carmen building along Main Avenue. As you can see, it's still flapping. A part of it is missing. You can see there's no roof at all. But this first collapsed on Sunday due to the snow buildup, and the wind came and finished the job. We shot video earlier this afternoon of the roof when it first collapsed. It was around, West Fargo fire officials say it happened around 3. Right before 3, they got a call that the roof had fell due to the wind. That the wind had taken off the trestle. There were several people inside. There were between 2 to 3 people inside. But fire officials say they were able to evacuate before they even arrived on scene. They made it outside the door. But there is some instability going on right now, and they fear that the roof is going to tear off and it's going to go on to some of the nearby businesses and even Main Avenue. Here's what the West Fargo fire chief had to say.
West wall has no anchor on it. It's a large span wall. It's got concrete on the outside, but it's a wood frame wall. So we're gonna set up a collapse zone, a cordon zone, that no one's gonna be able to be in there. It might collapse in the middle of the night.
Now, luckily, there were no injuries, and I'm going to send it right back to you in the studio. Reporting live in West Fargo, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live. All
right, thank you, Joshua. Look for updates on this story at valleynewslive.com.
If you think the roads look good enough to be on, think again.
Here's video from a rollover involving a truck on Interstate 94 from earlier today. Unconfirmed reports say the driver made it out okay.
Valley News Team's Veronica Marshall went for a ride with a snowplow operator today and found that even the most experienced drivers can be surprised.
John Skedsvold is a North Dakota native, so he understands the urge to drive, even when roads are bad.
I was young and dumb once.
Of course, now he knows from experience to listen to the experts. Currently, major roadways across the area are closed due to poor visibility and drifting snow.
With the whiteout conditions, it's hard to see even when those drifts are coming. It will catch you off guard really quickly. It does not take long with high winds like this for the drifts to build up rapidly.
But Skedsvold is still out driving because now he's trying to make the roads safer. He's been with the Department of Transportation for more than a decade and knows the risks drivers take when they ignore warnings and weather conditions.
That the gates are closed for a reason. It's for their safety as well as the safety of the operators. If you think you're going to make it through in a small pickup or a car, you would be surprised, because otherwise you'd be like us out here waiting on a tow truck.
That's right, even in a plow, even with an expert driver, on I-94 just past Castleton, we got stuck in the snow too.
I am stuck inside a snow plow right now. It is so wet and windy and snowy that even this 80,000-pound vehicle could not make it through the roads, which means you probably won't either.
We were eventually towed out of the snowbank by more DOT vehicles, but the typical driver won't be so lucky. Their vehicle could be stuck in the snow until roads reopen, and that's not the only danger they face.
We have a pickup in front of us right now, also stuck in a snowbank, and if we can't see him and we come through these drifts, it's a very dangerous situation for everybody.
And if you still need one more reason to stay home, if you're caught driving on a closed road in North Dakota, you could be fined up to $250. In Minnesota, that jumps up to a $1,000 fine and possible jail time. In Fargo, Veronica Marshall, Valley News Live.
The DOT says their plows and other vehicles are getting stuck in the snow today because the snow is so wet and heavy, there's absolutely no traction.
Some airlines are flying again in and out of Fargo and Grand Forks. It's been a tough day for passengers. Several flights were scratched because of the snowstorm. Some people told us they couldn't get rescheduled until Saturday. One traveler who is stuck in Fargo says she's frustrated after driving here from Aberdeen Wednesday morning in hopes of switching to an earlier flight. She says because a weather advisory was not issued, American Airlines wouldn't let her change flights without a $250 fee.
Some people experienced a power outage because of the weather. In most cases, it was caused by what's called a galloping motion. As you can see, this is when ice builds up on the power lines and the wind moves those lines, something that can snap transmission lines.
A man was arrested this morning on several charges, including trespassing. Police found 26-year-old Anthony Alvarez in the 600 block of 41st Avenue South in Moorhead. They discovered footprints belonging to Alvarez around several homes in a vehicle. They're giving credit to All Our Snow for providing evidence in the case, including footprints.
A Fargo woman is asking you to keep an eye out for her stolen car. She says it was taken from her apartment building last night. Amber Sandu says that she left her car keys in her building's laundry room door on 9th Avenue South last night, and when she went back to get them, the keys and her car were gone. That car is a 2004 white Chevy Impala. She wants whoever took it to know, just bring the car back. There will be no questions asked.
The number of fatal drug overdoses in North Dakota has dropped since a deadly peak in 2016, and health officials are giving credit to the state's overdose prevention campaign. It started in 2017, and it's called the Recovery Reinvented program. It distributes naloxone statewide. That's an opioid overdose medication. A CDC report shows a decline from 77 overdoses in 2017 to 68 in the next year. Last month, the North Dakota Senate passed a bill to provide $4.5 million to expand the program, and another bill would create a panel to examine overdose deaths and find gaps in services. The House is reviewing both measures.
A bill to arm a first responder in schools across North Dakota is making its rounds through the Senate. Bill 7715 was amended to add lockboxes to store the firearms. ND United representatives say they want senators to make another amendment to the bill to not allow parents, administrators, or teachers to be the armed first responder because they already have responsibilities.
Now, I am not at all unsympathetic to the fact that there are many of these communities far away. I just think that a much more broad approach to school safety needs to be taken rather than just relying on an individual who's armed.
Representative Pat Heinert of Bismarck says that the bill doesn't require a teacher to be the armed first responder. Instead, he believes school resource officers are the best option. The issue is that not all school districts have the funding for one.
Later,